Just give me a second. I think the recording has been started.
Yeah.
So, Mikko, the floor is yours.
Okay, thank you so much. So let's open the presentation. Let's see. Nope. So I need to do it like the old-fashioned way, I think.
But we can see the presentation.
You are now able to see the presentation. Okay.
Yes.
Good. Then I'll switch that one here. So good morning, everyone, and welcome to today's session about Copilot Agents and especially how to make governance and administrative settings for them. So today we are not going through how to build this agent, but let's try to figure out that what type of settings and things you need to look from your tenant to really understand that how these agents are working, how they are shared, and what type of security settings you need to check through actually. So I have set up a couple of things, so-called 6 must-know things that you need to check from the tenant side. And let's see, based on the timing that maybe we can go through a couple of others also. I can already say that the world for the governance is still pretty large or even mixed at the moment, and things have been changing quite a lot for the past 6 months. And I know that there will be a lot of changes, so it might be that something I'm speaking today might be old already tomorrow, depending what Microsoft is pushing to the tenants. But let's see the current situation. Yeah.
Sorry, Mikko, I need to interrupt you because I have information on the chat, but they cannot see your slides.
Okay, so that's how I was afraid.
I can confirm they are visible.
Unless maybe we as organizers can see that, but people on the chat
doesn't see now.
Let's see if Damian is saying that the slides are seen.
Yeah, so you should actually see my name in the screen.
Yes, correct.
Like said, good morning everyone. My name is Mikko Koskinen. I'm a principal consultant in a company called Sulava. We are operating from Finland, but we have offices already all around the world currently. So we are part of the so-called the digital neighborhood group, which means that we have multiple companies in Europe around, 1,500 consultants in our group. I've been working with the Microsoft technologies for over 20 years already. I started as a SharePoint developer back in the on-prem SharePoint days. And now for the past couple of years, I have mainly concentrated on Power Platform and especially now for the Copilot and the agents in there. So my team currently is the one that is building these custom applications on top of the Copilot services. And today we will be concentrating especially on the Copilot agents and the possibilities there. So first of all, it's always a good thing to think through that what does it mean to have an agent and what is an agent in general? Because the thing is that there are different types of entities that are called agents, even in the Microsoft ecosystems currently. And the word agent in general is maybe not something that there's like a unified understanding that what does it mean. But let's try to focus today on the agents that can be used in the Microsoft 365 Copilot service. I think that's the best way to describe the current situation. So before we dive more deeply into the actual governance side, let's check a couple of examples regarding the agents, so that you will, depending on how much you have actually used this, or if you have been working with a Copilot, it's always good thing to see actually that what we are talking about. So I'm now in the SharePoint. My account here do have the M365 Copilot license. So that's the situation here, and everything what we see today is something that where you need that Copilot license to be available for you. But we can see agents already here in the SharePoint side. We have that Create Agent button here, and in the top right corner, you have these agents available. Some of these are the ones that Microsoft has built to you. So this so-called default SharePoint agent is the one. What this agent is capable of doing is to read the information from the SharePoint site where we are, or from the hub structure in the SharePoint, depending on the settings. The agent is able to read documents and the modern pages. It also knows that who you are, and all the permissions for the SharePoint are maintained while you are having the discussion with it. But basically, this is the first type of agent that you can use, and this is automatically available for you when the license is actually activated. But of course, you can create your own agents. What I have done here is that I did create an agent which is connected to these documents here. So I'm living in Turku, in south of Finland, and I created an agent which is able to read from the history and details of Turku from those documents, and I can start to chat with it about that topic. And it finds the information, and it also shows the references that from which data source it was getting this information, and then bring back that information to us. This is probably the most simpler or simplified agent type that you can have on the Office 365 services. So if we go and hit the edit button, we can see that what type of agent this was. So basically, I have only given this couple of instructions. I have selected the data sources, and then I can fine-tune the conversation throughout these starter prompts, and especially throughout the instructions here. This agent type here is actually made through this editing screen or service that we see here. So this editing experience is called Copilot Studio Agent Builder. It's a lightweight editing experience, and it has only a couple of functionalities that you can add to these agents. But as you can see already, something is coming up. I don't have a timeline or schedule for this, but in some point, it seems that Microsoft will allow us to start editing these agents throughout the Copilot Studio experience. But currently, these are only light versions from the complete agents that are available in other services. So if we go actually on the M365 Copilot side, we can see the different agents here on the right side. So let's select one of these. For example, let's have this Geo Game Studio example here. So this agent is actually done with the Copilot Studio. With this one, I have given instructions for the agent that, okay, try to figure out one city from the world and give me clues about that city so that I can actually try to guess that which one you are thinking of. So let's hope that it's Turku, my hometown, but it seems that that was not the one that the agent is thinking about here. Well, that's probably a Paris that it's thinking, and that was the correct answer. And it is now calculating a points to me, and I could continue having discussion and playing this game. So that's one way of handling the experience for the end users, so that you are just giving instructions for the agents, and that's how you can build quite, I would say, good functionalities even. So Microsoft has brought you a couple of these examples, the prompting codes and the carrier codes, for example. And the good thing about this agent is that you can actually see how these have been built. So if you hit the create button here, you can have these predefined agents as a template for you. So for example, I can click the prompting agent, and then I can see that how it was built. And especially when you start to build this agent, this is really valuable information what you see here, because the main thing for the agents are actually these instructions. So now you see how Microsoft did the agent, what type of instructions it has, and then you can start to fine-tune these for your own purposes based on the example. But that's one just a small clue how you can create these. And as you can see, you are able to connect these agents to a couple of different type of services also. But still, this agent here is only using the large language model capabilities for the functions. And most likely you want to do something else also with the agents. So let's get an example of that type of agent. This agent is using a warehouse database called Northwind behind the scenes. The Northwind is actually a SQL Server database which we have installed in our environment, and we created an agent that is able to connect to that data. So this is one use case for the agents, that you can bring information from those systems that are not normally in the reach of the M365 Copilot. So when I'm asking about some items in the database, the agent is using the AI capabilities to make the necessary queries against the database and giving back that information. But we also set up this type of form. So we made a decision that every time when some item or product is mentioned, please bring the basic information of that product for the end users. And with this one, we are able to take also actions against the data. So let's restock a couple of these items. And as we can see, that information was written back to the database. So you don't necessarily have to only fetch the information. You can also interact with these different systems with the agents and have like a real user interface for the applications, and that might actually help the end user so that they don't have to navigate to these other services behind the scenes. We have also this type of Coho system, which is a service where we are maintaining our project information, and we can bring that data to be available for the Copilot, and then we can create an agent which is then connected to that information. But that's how things are looking from the agent side and what type of agents we actually have. And this is highly important thing to understand that there are different type of agents that you need to or are available to you. And it also means that you need to target different type of governance on top of these different agent types. So let's go through those different types quite quickly before we go on the actual 6 must settings, because you need to understand that what are these different agent types for you to create an I would say maintainable environment. So we have agents that are called declarative agents. This actually means that these agents is extending the Microsoft Copilot service. It is using the same architecture than the Copilot is using behind the scenes, but then you can connect these agents to an outside information, those databases, whatever application or service you want to use. Most likely you can connect those to the agent functionality, or then you can even bring your own services throughout the Azure capabilities and use those on the agent side. The other agent type is actually these custom engine agents, which means that you are creating fully your own agent, and then you can publish these agents, for example, as a separate application to Teams. Maybe you want to publish these on your websites or wherever you want your end users to be able to use these. These custom engine agents are something that where your end users don't need the Microsoft Copilot license to use them, when the declarative agents are the ones where you need the Copilot license for the end users, or the pay-as-you-go way is also available to you. There will be a quite big change now upcoming, maybe even this month, maybe it comes next month, which will bring the possibility to create a custom engine agent, a terrible word actually, and then use this custom agent as an extension for the Microsoft Copilot service. That's not available yet, but it is already in the public roadmap, which then means that we will start to have quite many type of agents that we need to think through from the settings point of view. Also, the fact that how the agents are built from the code perspective has an effect on what type of settings you need to have on the environment. So you can create these agents with the Copilot Studio, which is maybe the first option currently, but then you can also create the agents with the Visual Studio Code with the Pro Code tools if you want to. That agent that was connected to the database was actually built with the Pro Code tools, because that type of capabilities are not yet available in the Copilot Studio side when you are creating these declarative agents. So that might also point you to the direction that which tool to select based on the needs and information. So to sum up, there's no one agent type that you need to understand and govern in the tenant level, in the Copilot level. You have different types, and these has their own different things to understand. So we have the SharePoint agents. These are the most simplified ones. Then you have the Copilot chat agent that each of your customer or users are able to create. And then you have these more advanced agents that are created throughout the Copilot Studio or the Teams toolkit, if you want to use those. Really quickly about the simplified agents. These agents are created from SharePoint or then on the M365 Copilot chat experience by using that Copilot Studio Agent Builder functionality. I would say how I see these agent types currently is that these are meant for a personal use, maybe for a small team, but I wouldn't create an agent with these functionalities so that I would try everyone in your organization to use these. There are also limited functionalities that you can create with this agent type. And the reason is that there's no, good and necessary governance tools for these agent types, at least not yet. So it means that I cannot force, for example, a publishing process for the SharePoint agent or the Copilot chat agents before they can be shared to someone. There's no monitoring or report that will give you the information that how many SharePoint agents there are in the environment. Microsoft doesn't offer these tools yet, and that's probably the reason why the functionality is so limited. The good thing is that your end users are unable to connect to an outside data in these agent types, and when the end user is using the agent, they are only able to access to that information that they have permissions in general. So to control this agent, you also need to think through that how you are setting up the permissions, for example, in the SharePoint, and the agent is always following those settings behind the scenes. So in a one way, nothing too bad can be happen or done throughout this experience. But then if you need to do something else to go further, I'm always recommending to start to build the agent from the Copilot Studio side, or then from the Pro Code world throughout the Visual Studio Code, because then you have more capabilities and you also have a possibility to control the publishing flow, for example, or you can, as an admin, you can decide that who has access to the agents and different settings. So let's dive to the different settings. And as I said, there are at least 6 really, key settings that you need to check through or key processes that you need to decide. One thing to remember is that there's no one admin center for the agents. So the different things, different options are actually divided throughout the existing admin centers. It means that you need to check some of the things from the Microsoft 365 Admin Center. You need to set up things on the Power Platform Admin Center, and at least currently, there are a few things that you need to check also from the Teams Admin Center side. I know that in some of the organizations, this might actually cause some issues and discussions because it might be that these roles for the admins are divided. Microsoft has implemented this type of admin role called AI admins, but even that role doesn't give all the necessary access to each of these admin centers. So it might be that if you want one person to handle everything, that person needs to get a little bit more roles on the environments than maybe he or they have had before. But let's start with the first 3 settings, and these settings are actually found from the Microsoft 365 Admin Center. The most, basic setting is that you need to decide who has access to the Copilot agents in general. The default value in each tenant is actually all users, which means that when the end user is getting the M365 Copilot license, they will start to see the agents and has the capability to create those lightweight agents automatically if you don't change this setting here. You can also block the agent capabilities from all, or then you can select a specific users or group who has access to the agent side. What this setting actually does is that if I'm selecting the no users setting and saving that information, the right hand column in the Copilot chat experience will be disappeared. So no one has access to the agents or are able to create the agents after that. Just as an info, when you are making changes to these settings, there's a delay before everything is starting to have an effect. So it could take like 24 hours before this setting is going to effect for the end users. The next setting that you need to think through, or maybe you have already think through this, is the basic setting for different type of plugins and applications in the tenant level. So most likely you have set these settings up already before Copilot, but just as an information, the Copilot agents actually belong to this custom application category here. So if you want the end users to be able to install the agents, you need to allow that on the tenant level setting here, or if you have turned this off before even, it means that the end users are not able to install the different agents. The agent themselves are found from the integrated apps section. So the agent is one type of add-on extension or application, and you can use the same procedures that you are using for the applications in general to control the way how these are published. There are small changes into this rule. I'll discuss that in a moment when we are going through one of the examples from the demo environment. But if you want to publish an agent for all of your users in the tenant, or maybe to a selected amount of groups or people, you can set things so that the developers of the agents in Copilot Studio or in the on the Visual Studio Code, they need to deploy the agent and have this type of process for the admin approval and set things up from here. So it means that they can send an agent to be approved by the admins. You as an admin can review the different capabilities of the agent. You see that what information it is using, from where it is actually connected, and then you can make a decision that are you allowing this application to be published or not, and you can set up the permissions in the application level to handle the overall process there. So to control the applications, which the agents actually are, that information and settings are done in the admin center. In the admin center, there's also a reporting tool available to show you the current agents in the tenant, or most of them are visible there. I will show that report when we are going back to the demo side. But let's talk about the other settings. The next two are actually coming from the Power Platform Admin Center. So now you need to act as an admin on the Power Platform side. The first setting, what you need to think through here is the one that controls that who in general can actually use the Copilot Studio, because the declarative agents are all in the low-code side are done in the Copilot Studio, and you can make a decision that which group, for example, from the users are allowed to create these agents. This is a tenant level setting, and this will affect in each of the environment that you have in the Power Platform side. Of course, if you are not setting this permission here, there's also a license for the Copilot Studio that you need to give to the developers, but you can also set things up on the tenant level or from the tenant level settings. Other important thing to remember is that all the Power Platform settings that you have given into your tenant, even before Copilot, will affect actually on the capabilities of the Copilot agents, which are done with the Copilot Studio. So, for example, if you have formed an environment strategy for you, that what type of developer environments you have, which of the environments are the production ones, what type of setting access you have there. All of those settings will concern the Copilot agent side also. The same goes for the DLP settings, which is the key thing to handle in the Power Platform governance in general. So throughout the DLP settings, you can make a decisions that to which information the Power Apps, the Power Automate, or these agents are able to connect. So if I make a decision that, okay, I don't want a SQL Server to be available for the Copilot agent, then I need to go on the DLP settings. I can block the SQL Server connection, and then I have to set this policy on to the desired environments, or even to the whole tenant if that's something that you want to establish. So those settings are affecting on the agent side also. Other important settings, pretty new ones actually, are the one that are specific for the Copilot Studio. These settings also will affect on the agent, but these settings in general are meant for the custom engine agent capabilities. For me, I think the most important things to discuss and plan are the settings for the Enter ID authentication, and then the direct line and Facebook type of channels. What I'm normally doing is that I'm actually blocking these chatting without Enter ID, Facebook, and omni-channel possibilities, especially from the default environment, because that way no one is able to create an agent where the end user doesn't need to be authenticated. And then if that type of agent needs to be created, and they need to reach out to me and ask for a special environment to do that functionality. So that's one important thing to handle here. Other thing what you need to maybe think through is that on which environments these different agents are created. But let's discuss about that in a couple of minutes. Because we can check through the final setting, the sixth one, before we go on the demo environments again. Currently, there is still one important setting that you need to check through, and that's actually in the Teams Admin Center side. Of course, in the Teams Admin Center, you can set up that which applications are available for your end users. In general, who has a possibility to install the applications. That's also an important thing to cover, because there are applications in the Teams that can also be used as an extension in the Copilot experience. So maybe earlier you have done extensions called Teams message extensions, which are published as an application here on the Teams side. Nowadays, those extensions are one type of agents that you can use in the Copilot experience. So you need to decide also that who has access into those throughout this admin experience. But the important thing to think through is the side loading setting, because in the Copilot agent experience, when the end user is creating the agent, they can also download those agents from the Copilot Studio or from the Visual Studio Code. They can create this type of zip file, which they can then send to someone else. And if the side loading is enabled, the end user is able to upload that application and start to use it without you knowing in between as an admin that type of functionality has been created. So that's why think through that who has these side loading capabilities in your tenant side. Quickly about the application, because as I said, the setting for the application or the management of the applications are currently done in two different admin center, meaning the M365 and the Teams side. But there is an upcoming update which will eventually combine these two admin experiences. So then it means that there will only be one admin center for the applications. Most likely it will be the integrated apps section. And then you have one place to install, to approve, to set up all different type of apps that are used in different services around the tenant. And then you can also decide in the application level by each application that who has access into them. So currently you need to make those decisions in different admin centers and admin experiences, depending on which service you want things to be affected. But this is something that Microsoft is currently rolling out, and it really depends on your situation and the old settings in your tenant, that when you are starting to see this experience from your own point of view. So maybe to give you a little idea, we will soon go and see the different admin settings and experiences. Just as an extra hint or idea here. One thing to think through about the governance process is especially related on how you want people to create the agent and what type of governance process you want to onboard. There's no one right answer into it, but this is how we are currently doing things. So, like I said, we see the Copilot Studio agents as lightweight agent types for more for the personal or small team usage, and all the other agents should be done either by the Copilot Studio or then as a Pro Code agent in the Teams toolkit side. And in the Power Platform side, we are using this type of approach to have like a controlled best practice way of creating the agent from the developer point of view. So first of all, we are always creating multiple environments for the end users who are developing these agents. We are giving them permission to use Copilot Studio. We are pointing them to the development environment. And then when they are ready, we will train them to use the production environment. The good thing is that the M365 Copilot license, which includes the license for the Copilot Studio, it will also give you permission to use the managed environment capabilities. It also gives you permission to use the pipeline capabilities in the Power Platform, which is a really good thing from the governance process point of view. So we are always promoting each of these environment as a managed one, and then we are setting up the different security roles that who has access to the development environment, and we are also preparing the publishing pipelines for the environment. And there's also a new functionality where you can connect the environment or the solutions to Azure DevOps Git services, but that's still in the preview. So basically, we are setting things up in this from this point of view. So we are having the managed environment settings and setting things up with that functionality. So, for example, in the development environment, we are actually limiting the capability on how for the editor sharing in the dev environment. We just want to make sure that only some of the people has access to the agents that are under development, or at least the developer needs to think through that who has access to these agents, meaning that they are not sharing the agent to everyone from the developer or the development environment. We want that agent to be published to the production environment before it is shared to everyone else. And for that publishing process, we are using the pipelines behind the scenes to bring the agent from development to the production environments. But let's go on the demo side. We have a few minutes still left here. And let's check the process on how to set things up here. So I'm going now on the admin center. We can see the most important settings in the M365 admin center from the integrated app section. So the setting for the agent in general and the apps are found from the custom settings side. You can access that from the gear icon here. But most importantly, there is a way of having a controlled process for the admin capabilities. So let's open the Copilot Studio. I'm opening one agent here. So let's switch the environment. So we have the development environment here. So this is the managed environment. I'm opening the admin center. And from here, under the library, the custom engine agents are in this functionality or experience, and the Copilot agents are found under the library section here. And we have this agent available here. And let's open that one. So when the end user has created the agent, given the instructions, etc., they can click the publishing button here. This publishing, what it does, it gives them a possibility to start sharing this agent. So if I click in the availability options, I can manage that who has access into this agent. Now in the developer environment, I'm only able to select individual users here, not the groups. That was the setting for the managed environment side. But the recommendation is to only select a couple of others that are testing this, and then I can get the link and share this agent for the end users. Unfortunately, there's no tenant side setting to prevent these sharing links to be created. So unfortunately, someone could come here in the Copilot Studio, create an agent, and then they can copy the link here and send that to multiple people, and they are actually able to start using the agent if they have a permission to add the applications. So you need to think through this also. And currently this goes more on the way that you need to give instructions for the developers and maybe to discuss with them that how they should actually publish the agents. But in a best practice way, when the agent needs to be published for more than a couple of people, the developers can start an admin approval process and send this agent to be published for everyone. So now if I go here on the integrated apps section, I am able to see the agent, and this is now in the pending state here, and I can make a decision that yes, I want to publish this one. I can also see the details that to which information this is connected, and I can make a decision to publish this if I want to. After the publishing, I can also fine-tune the settings, and I can, for example, limit the availability from here so that who has access to the information and who doesn't. So this is the process that you need to think through and discuss with your admins, that how you want to set these things up for your purposes. Final thing about the reporting, where are you able to see the agents currently, is that in the admin center, in the usage reporting, there's a report for the Copilot usage, and under here you have the section for the agents. Currently, this is only showing you the agents that are created with the Copilot Studio or then with the Teams Toolkit building or development way. So the SharePoint agents and the lightweight Copilot chat agents are not listed here, but you can see the usage information from them also here on the usage graph, but they are not listed here, at least not currently. Hopefully we will be seeing those in a moment. Other place now, when the different custom engine agents are coming from the SharePoint or Power Platform admin center, you also have this Copilot Studio side. So when the custom engine agent is published as an extension for the Copilot, you will start to see those agents and the message usage also from this side. in these different admin reports. But in the presentation, there are more details and links into these functions also, so that you can start to see and learn about those after this session also. But that was my time here and the information about how to build the governance procedures for you. In the session slide, I also created, Microsoft has created this, and I added a couple of things here. A small quick guide for the more important settings from the different admin point or center side. So you will have a thing to memorize that which of the settings are under which admin center. But there, quite quickly, under 1 hour, the 6 or plus most important things around agent governance. I don't know, did we have questions here?
Yes, we have 3 questions. The chat, if you like, you can just take one of them, because probably there will be not much more time.
Yeah, so how to block the creation of the bot throughout only for the security groups. So you need to set things up from the Power Platform admin center. So the setting where you are setting that who has access to the Copilot Studio, you are able to use that one, or then you can go on the default environment and also block, for example, the generative AI capabilities. But unfortunately, there's no environment level setting to especially block the Copilot Studio usage. There's only a tenant level one, and then you can also control that who has access to the Copilot Studio throughout the licensing. But there's no setting for that in the admin center, at least not at the moment. And for those sharing settings for the managed environments, unfortunately, that functionality is only available in the managed environments. But then again, that's included in the Copilot Studio license anyway. No, you don't need so the Copilot Studio license, which you are giving to the end users, it includes the Copilot Agent usage in the Copilot Studio side also. So that is included on the Copilot license, and you don't need to have any specific premium license for the end users who are using these agents. What else was there? So then there's a question that which of these agents create an entity on the Dataverse table. Only the Copilot Studio agents are available throughout the Dataverse in the environment. So no SharePoint agents, no lightweight chat agents, or no toolkit agents are available in that table there in the Dataverse side.
Okay, I think that's it. We have reached the time, so we will give people 2 minutes to organize themselves. And thank you for your session, Mikko. It was interesting. And we will see you on the next session in 2 minutes. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.